Hey yo peeps, and welcome back to Snail TV. Well, as you can see from the title of my my video there, yes, I finally brought my Porsche in. I'm finally working on it after almost a year of actually owning it. So, well, yeah, pretty much on a year of owning it. I really want to get this thing on the road. I want to get this thing happening. Just been back and forth of exactly what sort of transplant to put it in. This is the K24 now that I'm actually staying with and sticking with this swap. Unfortunately, it actually wasn't the first swap you guys seen previously. When I first got it, I did actually do a pull start Honda engine in it, and actually made it to run around the block. I didn't actually get footage of it, but I actually made it drive around the block. Then you also guys didn't see as well, but I actually utilized and actually put a J35 motor from a Honda Accord in it, and I literally made that up to the Porsche gearbox, the transaxle, sorry, and actually had that in there, but it was just too hard to work on. It's really shocking to work on, just as bad as Porsche to work on. Just don't like it, didn't like it. I wanted to change it, hated it. I kept doing it, I kept putting it in there, but I'm just, yeah, it was that thing that it was just sort of a, just that's why I just sort of pushed out the front, and just sort of just, didn't care for it too much because I didn't like the whole setup, what it was there. So it was really hard now then to sort of see of what engine combo I was going to put in there. I've always done the K swaps, guys. I've done, heaps of K24 swaps, but I sort of just didn't know how to sort of do this. Unfortunately, they don't actually make a K24 conversion setup for my transaxle. They do for the older transaxle. So then, I would have had to purchase another transaxle, and it would have been a manual box as well, not auto. I did want to keep this thing auto from day dot. This has a very, very, very nice updated steering wheel in the thing with paddle shifts, and a all the the clusters, auto. The center shifter is all auto. I didn't want to have to put a clutch pedal in this thing. I could have, just for the simple facts, because it would have been easier. Obviously, we don't have to control it. We don't have to do anything like that. But, it's sort of, sometimes it's not about being simple. It's about making something work nicer, what it was about. This thing was a factory auto car. Simple just to keep it like that. And, we control everything, obviously, with the fuel tech. So, anyway, look, enough about the swaps. Let me turn you around. Let me have a look. Let me go through of exactly what I've done, what more we need to do, and yeah, we'll go from that. So I'll bring you back of the whole thing. Alright peeps, so Porsche Cayman S. Alright, as I said, it's, yeah, my first Porsche I've ever owned, and we'll see if it might be the last. I don't know, we'll have a look. Anyway, you can see some big stuff, you can see the K24, you can see some pipes, you can see some stuff. Let's talk about a few things, eh? Alright, so the biggest thing obviously right in front of you is the turbocharger. So there is a Pulsar G42 1200 turbo, and V-band rear, V-band, like everything's on V-bands. And the biggest thing you might also notice is the engine as well. So the K24, but that's a Z3 block, and it has the single exhaust port. So it makes life easy. Just simple, bang bang, squash a 3-inch pipe to a 3-inch pipe V-band, and it's pretty simple. This exactly pretty much the same motor that I had. I had a Z3 motor on the jet boat, so I know way too much about these exhaust ports and how much better they sound, because as you guys know, I'm not a fan. I've said it before in my YouTube that I'm not a fan of the sound of K24s, but these motors, because they've got the exhaust port, the single exhaust ports, they do sound a lot different, and personally I think these ones sound the best. Alright, some more. Alright, as you can see, this is actually a full Honda K24 2011, I'm pretty sure, Honda Accord, Euro, obviously factory auto, K-frame, drive shafts, suspension, you name it, everything straight out the front, straight into this. All right, so that's what we're seeing. The K-frame is bushed, mounted, still bushed, and then just barred up and just made things work. The actual engine itself, though, as you can see from that center mount, is solid mounted. Another mount over there, solid mounted as well. And I haven't done the transmission mount as such. All right, so anyway, sort of just have a look around. We're going to be doing an intercooler down here. We're just going to be doing an air-to-air intercooler, making things simple. Over the back there, so you can see I've got some welding blankets on the top there. We're pretty much just going to be doing a full firewall, so that whole bit is going to be just one piece. From the inside, I'll have some nice, some nice trim on the inside, just so that it makes it look really, real nice. But the whole thing is pretty much going to try to get it all metal, as much as I can anyway. Obviously, I won't be able to weld to the tops and stuff because I don't want to do too much damage. But I'll be able to make something work up to the top there, and we'll cover it from the inside. But yeah, and then this whole section is now going to be the engine bay. All right, so it's a pretty decent sized engine bay. I've got like plenty of space for airflow and whatnot. There is those air intake ducts, that side and that side there as well. We can utilize those for something. I was actually going to originally mount the exhaust going straight out to both sides. But, look, I still do want to, but it's just too much piping. I don't want heat going everywhere. It's going to be way too much stuff happening. So look, I've just sort of gone soft in my older years. So I think just still going to have something decent anyway. Still going to have pretty much a 4-inch exhaust, dump pipe into a probably like a hot dog, and then coming straight out. So we'll see how that sounds, and look, if it needs any more volume or any more loudness, we'll have a look. So obviously screamer pipe will be coming straight out as well, so we'll just keep up a bit more sounds, a bit more something happening. But look, apart from that, guys, it's pretty much, that's where I'm up to. I've got everything mounted. Obviously, the turbo is just sort of a suspicious thing, like a out of the blue thing. I come up, good price, so I pretty much went around, grabbed it, and I was just sort of, when I'm doing some sort of like, these builds, I sort of need something like that just to get my, I don't know, the happiness happening, the momentum. If I'm just doing just an engine swap, it just doesn't do it for me. I just need something cool happening. And obviously, a big turbocharger is something there to have, so I can, map around it as such, and make things, work around that. But with the actual, this dropped. All right, so with it dropped, as you can see from Cayman S, you pretty much can't see, obviously, I know it's dirty, but you can see the Honda in the inside there, but you can't actually see the turbo at all. So I'm liking that, and I think this is as far craziness as I'm going to go. I had so many more plans. Of doing like an intake for the back. Some crazy stuff. I had like all this crazy stuff in my head. But look, I don't really want to wreck it too much. I just want to get this thing on the road, get this thing happening. There's still lots of work to be done, of course. But, the quicker the better it's on the road, the more sort of, the happier I'm going to be, because this thing's actually getting used, All right, so I'll keep it at that, guys. I don't want to keep you guys, just on the boring, just talking about it. But, in that comment section, give me some things of what you guys would want to do. Some ideas of that false firewall as such. I am going to just be trimming it up and make it all flat. And then on the inside, it's pretty much the seats are right there. So there's sort of nothing else to be done. I can, do something nice on the inside. The Alcantara or something like that. I'll put some on some of that stuff there instead. All the rest of the interior is all in that as well. But that's where we're at. The only thing actually I do need to do, which is, look, it's not the worst thing. I will have to be putting probably a Astra power steering pump on this thing, only because the Z3s don't have power steering. They had power steering, the electric power steering on these cars, and you know, that we're not having electric power steering, so this has hydraulic. So we need to make that. We need a pump for that. So just keep it on the electric one, and I think that'd be really, really nice from day dot anyway. So it shouldn't be too hard. They're not too expensive anyway, and I've got plenty of locations there to put it anyway. As I said, I do have the whole section there to put stuff, and so that should be okay. And yeah, look, apart from that, guys, everything else should be all right. Obviously, I am running this thing on Fuel Tech. I've got the Fuel Tech ECU on its way. Just the same thing, just to keep the hype up, to keep things happening with it. I've got a lot of parts happening for this thing. I've got a wastegate coming. Intercooler, go pick up the intercooler next couple of days. Just like little bits and pieces, just so I've got things happening, you know. The firewall I won't do until motor's back out. And just so then obviously I'm not welding too much in there now with obviously the engine in there. But the biggest thing is obviously just setting up the rest of the suspension. I've just got the top A-arms to do, and the strut tops as well to incorporate. But I do actually have a set of coilovers on its way as well, so going to be running a set of coilovers. But I need to run front coilovers, but with the bottom housing, with the bottom mount. Because this now has an engine, so I can't just run the rear coilovers because the spring pressure is not enough, and I can't run the front coilovers because the bottom mount is different. So I'm going to have to swap parts over the both to make it work, and try and incorporate running that front one in the rear here, and should be right. Just so then it's height adjustable, and yeah, we should be all good. So that's where we're at. Look, I don't want to bore you too much with talking. Let me know in the comments, guys, of anything else you guys would love to see in this build. You know, obviously it's you know, nothing's too much crazy for me, but let me know what would you say, you know, incorporate. You know, I was going to do some sort of compounding as well, but you know, same thing. I'm just trying to keep it simple as such. You know, I know it has got a big dirty turbocharger on it, but I'm trying to keep it as simple as much as possible. I'm doing this off my off hours, weekends and after work, and I'm doing pretty good so far. You know, it's harder thing of just getting parts for it and just utilizing what I can get around here first, instead of waiting for parts to come and arrive. But yeah, I think we should be okay. As I did say, well, I think I said I'm trying to get this thing done before end of year, if not early next year. You know, during holidays or something. But just so then just so then it's done and it works and it drives, and you know, I'd be super happy. Just so then it's as I said, I've had this thing for a year now, and it's just been sort of sitting there. You know, had those, you know, couple little engines. One was little, one was bigger, but you know, they didn't go anywhere. It didn't start up. It didn't sort of move as such. You know. But anyway, we'll keep it at that, guys. All right. So thank you very much for watching the channel. I'll keep up the videos on this thing, and yeah, we'll go from there. So thanks very much, guys, and I'll speak to you guys on the next episode. See you, peeps.